Doyle explains he's a Newfoundlander and therefore a natural-born storyteller, but that must be why your new memoir, Where I Belong, is one of the must-reads for the year, I must say.
Thank you.
You have some great praise from some great people, including Jan Arden and Russell Crowe. Now, even if you're not a great Big C fan, I encourage you to pick up the book. It is highly entertaining. It's called Where I Belong, and the tales of growing up in Newfoundland. So, how fun was it? Was it as fun to write as it was to read?
Yes, it was. We were chatting just before we went on air. The whole thing kind of came to me. Like, I never spent much time in my young life going, I'd like to write a book. The people at Random House Canada came to me in the fall of 2012 and said, we've been reading a blog on your website. We think you can write, so we'd like for you to write a book for us. And I was just about to go on the road, which usually means you have a few hours a day to kill. I said, I'll just try. I'll start writing down the stories I was told about growing up in my little fishing town in Petty Harbour.
Yeah.
And they took to it right away, and as it turned out, it was kind of a really natural fit. Sort of creatively, it was great fun to do, but also, like, for a touring musician, writing books is actually fits the schedule, like, more than you might think. You know, it's like
you got some downtime on the tour bus.
Yeah, and it's the kind of downtime that you need.
Right.
Yeah.
So it only took you 10 months to write.
Yeah, we started it sort of late in the fall of 2012, and really by the summer of 2013, the drafts were done.
That's it.
Yeah.
So it came totally naturally to you. And was it fun to take that trip down memory lane?
Yeah.
You have an amazing memory.
Yeah. And, well, I'm lucky. I have creative friends around me, too, right? Many of whom were mentioned in the book. Like, my longest friend, Perry Chafe, who's one of the head writers on a TV show out home called Republican Doyle. And he's a writer in his heart as well. And, you know, most of the experiences I had as a young life, I either had with him or with my brother Bernie. Right, or with all the people who are still quite around, you know, and would jog my memory or correct me or whatever, you know, when required. So it was really fun. It was more collaborative than you might think as well.
And you actually had more material than you needed for the
book. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, without giving too much away about it, I kind of, when I was doing a memoir kind of thing, I figured like it would go up until today, you know, and then I started to realize this cool little story arc where my young life kind of perfectly prepared me for the greatest job in Newfoundland history when it became available in 1993.
Well, Russell Crowe says about the book, he says, I feel like I've lived another's life. And I mean, it truly is an adventure, and it really exposes, I think, mainlanders who are from Newfoundland, the opportunity to know what that life is like. Is that what you were hoping to achieve? You know,
I was so glad that that's a part of it. You know, because that was one of the things I say it in the book. I say, I wish everybody could see the Petty Harbour of my childhood. You know, because I think certainly for a period of time, you know, rural Newfoundland communities were seen, you know, as being kind of dormant and stagnant and even lazy at times. And I was like, man, he said, you should have seen the Petty Harbour of it was a 24-hour town for about 8 months a year. 2 fish plants going, 2 shifts a day, and trucks going, and boats, and big superhero-looking dudes coming and going. Like, it was a seriously boisterous, bustling place.
Yeah.
And because, you know, I was just really lucky enough to catch the tail end of the heyday of the inshore fishery in Newfoundland and Labrador, right? So I lived, like, I think I'm one of the last guys to get a chance to live in really a time that was kind of before mine. Right.
To live that life.
Most everywhere else had kind of moved on to something else by then, but in Petty Harbour we were still doing it.
Well, you paint a fine picture. Can we dig into some of the language here? There is a glossary at the end of the book for those who need some translation, some of the terms. Nitsy pumpkin.
Nitsy pumpkin is a Petty Harbour word to refer to what most people would call a ginger or a red-haired person.
A gingy. Okay. Townie.
Townie's someone from town, St. John's.
Gurry?
Gurry is like the stuff at the bottom of a fish boat. You know, the combination of fish offal and guts and blood and stuff. Gurry.
Delicious.
Yeah, lovely.
Sculpin?
Oh, a real ladies' man. How'd you like gurry? Sculpin is an ugly fish, pretty ugly fish that hangs around, bottom feeder fish. Kind of looks like, well, looks like nothing else. It's literally very poor looking, very poor. Horns and... It's a fish, the only fish I've ever seen that has really bad skin.
Really bad skin. Well, Alan is in town and signing books here, so you can check it out. Chapter Chinook Center, that's going down tonight at 7 p.m. It must be fun for you to meet your fans.
Oh, it's great fun. A great chance to get a chance to chat, and I'm back again right after. I think I'm here in March doing a new solo tour and everything. So looking forward to chatting to people tonight and signing books.
Yes.
And singing a few songs in March.
Great. Well, great to have you. Safe
Thank you.
travels. Alan Doyle's book is called Where I Belong. Pick it up. It is incredibly entertaining. I really enjoyed it.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for stopping
Appreciate it.
by,
Thanks
BT.
for having me.